Over this prior offseason, I made a video discussing how Sal Frelick of the Milwaukee Brewers was, at that point, the weakest hitter in MLB, displaying a level of power at the plate that would make Ozzie Smith proud. But here's the thing, since the 2025 season has actually gotten underway, he's greatly improved the number of his metrics, helping him to post a mid-700s OPS right now and a near 400 slugging percentage, moving him solidly out of this conversation in my opinion. This begs the question, at least in my mind, who's going to take his spot as the weakest hitter in all of Major League Baseball? And will it be for a more extended period this time? For my money, I do think so, as there's a clear and obvious outlier candidate. I'm talking about Chandler Simpson of the Tampa Bay Rays. Now before we go any further, I want to say I don't mean worst when I say weakest, as he's not even close to that status. More so his ability to actually export any kind of power result in a given at-bat. As, while Simpson has gotten off to an impressive start in terms of batting average in the major league so far, hitting .309, he hasn't been productive in pretty much any other way, with just a decent OBP at .341 and a really low .352 slug, adding up to just a .693 OPS. This is largely because the guy rarely walks and has registered just 6 extra base hits through 177 plate appearances, with 0 home runs. But that last number really shouldn't be surprising. In the whole of his career, spanning his time at MLB, the minor leagues, and college baseball, he's hit a combined 2 home runs, with only one of those going over the fence, and that was still with some help from the right fielder, with the ball going off his mitt. Shout out to And That's Baseball, by the way, for his video on both Simpson and Jack Caglione, which is where I sourced the footage for that college blast. His other one was obviously an Inside the Parker. But it's not just the on-the-surface stats that give evidence to my claim that he's the weakest hitter. The advanced ones are probably even more brutal, as so far in 2025, among hitters with at least 100 batted balls put in play, he's ranked either last or second to last in average exit velocity, EV50, which is an average of the hardest 50% of a player's batted balls, max fly ball distance at just 351 feet, number of 95-mile-per-hour batted balls, hard hit rate, and barrel percentage, with a mark of exactly 0. If it wasn't obvious, he's the only hitter to be in at least the bottom 2 of all of these stats. Now, all this really isn't meant to imply that he doesn't have objective skills at the plate, as his aforementioned batting average is actually somewhat below his expected average of .316. And he's whiffed, struck out, and managed to square up balls at truly elite rates, giving him the potential to be a Luis Arraez disciple with 80 grade wheels. And funny enough, his biggest issues as an MLB player actually are very similar to Arraez, being his subpar defense with -4 fielding run value through his first 385 career innings, and that dismal walk rate at just 5%. Now, what's the point of this video? Honestly, just to discuss a guy who has one of the more interesting player molds I've ever seen, with a lack of pop that truly is generational. Think about it, even for someone like Juan Pierre, who in his heyday was the consummate slap hitter, still managed to hit 18 career home runs, putting a ball over the fence once or twice a season, which is a feat that Simpson hasn't managed to accomplish at any level of baseball since his senior year in college. However, adding to the weirdness, he still possibly could be a very productive ball player if he's able to progressively improve his walk rate and glove work a bit. Now, thank you so much for watching, and please remember that if you ever see anything you'd like to see detailed in a Made the Cut video, whether that be a specific play, player, or narrative surrounding a team or something, feel free to reach out to my email, basebpoet@gmail.com. And if I do end up using your idea, I'll of course give you a shout out. Thank you so much once again, and I'll see you in the next one.